do love a bit of free parking. So I've just parked my motorbike up in Broadway car park, which I remembered from when I walked through here on the way back from Bristol, and went to the ticket machine, and it said free parking for motorbikes. You just got to make sure you park in a motorcycle bay. So that took a little bit of finding, but once I found it, it's quite satisfying. It's still one of those old machines that gives you a ticket. So on a motorbike, you can't really put it anywhere, 'cause someone will just steal it. So not saying people at Broadway would steal stuff, but there's no security. So yeah, they sort of have to offer it free, I suppose. Anyway, that feels good. I've just been to the co-op that I'd been to before as well. Had a sandwich, bought a big bag of Revels. Treat Jenny. We do like a bit of a. We used to play Guess the Revel when we first went out, try and work out which one it is, Maltese or whatever. Anyway, so I've ridden down to Broadway. I'm going to try and find my poles, because like I said before, I don't like leaving stuff lying around, and I would quite like to use my tent again. So I'm going to look for my poles. Now I can't quite remember, but that hill behind me is, I think I was camped up there somewhere. So I'm going to try and find where I camped, and you know, I'll be so happy if the poles are just there lying up against a tree or something. But I did look at the old video footage and I couldn't see it on the video footage, so it might not be there. They might be down that path, the bramble path, and I'm not getting them. I did think, oh, should I go down there, because it's not far from here. Should I go and look down there as well? But that path was horrible, so I'm not going to do that. The ride down was quite nice. It rained. There's no rain forecast, and it proper rained. But at the moment, we've got some blue sky. It's a bit more cloudy over there. But I think I've got lucky again. Lucky with the weather. Quite excited to be back here. I'll tell you, it's so different. As I rode down, I was trying to spot roughly on the landscape where I'd walked. Well, I couldn't quite work it out. Some nice little places down here. The Cotswolds is lovely. And I'm back on the this is the Cotswold Trail now. Or Cotswold Walk. I think it's the Cotswold Trail. Literally looked at a sign 5 seconds ago and it told me, and I've forgotten already. But yeah, lovely little path. I tell you, it's easier riding than walking the whole way. A lot quicker. But I think I'll stick to doing both. I think that's the best way. Right, so while I'm walking up, just give a quick update. I messaged my friend Tom yesterday to tell him some news, and he said, you've had a busy few weeks. And it didn't really occur to me until he mentioned it, and yeah, it has. So, yeah, obviously I got married. Then Jenny let me do the Bristol to Leicester walk. And then, so I got married, then we went on holiday. Then Jenny let me do the Bristol to Leicester walk. I still think, that holiday in Portugal was lovely. I would recommend going there. We went right off the beaten track. And yes, really, really nice. Definitely want to go back there. Yeah, keep thinking about it, how nice it was. Best holiday. Anyway, yeah, so then I came back, did the Bristol to Leicester. Then we had a party to celebrate our wedding with all our friends and family. So that was, well, some of our friends and family. A lot of people couldn't make it. And then, on Monday, I did a little bit of HGV training with my really good friend Jermaine. And then yesterday, I passed my test. And, I could have cried when he told me I'd passed. Because every time you do it, it's just the pressure. It costs a lot of money for a start, but it's also, if you fail, then you've got to go through all that anxiety and pressure again. And I'm not good at practical tests, I don't think. I get really scared and nervous. So it was I'll get that screen back on. So yeah, how lucky was I to get that pass? I felt so awful when I sort of failed it last time, even though I managed to justify that it was okay, and I do feel better for the extra training. But yeah, to get that's been on my mind for a good few months now, and to get that out of my mind, yeah, thank you, Jermaine, so much. He proper helped me out, and yeah, I owe him one there. Anyway, so yeah, HGV training done as well. So yeah, I've had a busy few weeks, and if we can get these tent poles as well, that'll be proper icing on the cake, won't it? Right, I've waffled on enough now. Let's see if we can. I'm just heading up there, up here, up this path. It's up a hill. Let's see if I can find them. I was going to say, these climbs are a lot easier without a backpack on, but oh, Papa made a meal of that. Literally all I've got is my camera and my car keys, or my bike keys in my pocket. Oh, and I'm worn out. Right, we're in the woods. That's the log I sat on for a while when I was trying to decide whether to stay here or not. So, let's see if I can remember. I think I came in this way. And I think this is where I camped in here. And I can't see anything. Maybe I was more down here. Right, I wasn't as far as this little den. I remember the little den. And I walked up here. I don't think they're going to be here. That's a bit of a blow. Yeah, I think I was along there. Just here. Trying to remember. I think I had my rucksack propped up on this tree. So I must have lost them down that bramble path. Oh, that's disappointing. Right, I'm going to switch the camera off now. I'm going to have a bit more looking around. I'm going to think whether I might risk looking down bramble path or not. Right, I'll get back to you. Well, that's a bit of a disappointment. I have to be honest. I honestly thought I was going to walk in there and they were just going to be propped up against a tree or something. So I'm guessing I did put them in my pack. I've just forgotten that I did that. My next best guess is then that when I was trying to get down that really overgrown path, that one of the, I keep on calling them brambles, I'm not quite sure what they're called, the ones with the blackberry bushes, they sort of grab at stuff and they proper sharp and slice into you. So I'm only thinking that maybe, well, it must be that as I walked past, they must have, and because I was stupid and put my poles in my side pocket, they must have just pulled them out. So yeah, I might go back there, just have a quick look, see if I can get down, but I don't want to hurt myself. There's no point, is there? Anyway, yeah, I'll have a look on the map, see if I can get to it easily from the road and maybe have a look. Yeah, in my head it was all going to be rather perfect there. The reality hasn't quite worked out the same. Right, I'll continue my search for a little bit, but I'll accept defeat hopefully soon and give up in good time. Right, so I couldn't be defeated that quickly. I think I will be defeated on this quest for my tent poles. I couldn't give up quite yet. I think the not finding them happened quicker than I was expecting. So disappointing. So I've checked. I got back to my motorbike, had a bit of a drink, looked at the map. It's and I looked where the disused railway line is, and it's not actually that far from Broadway. So you don't necessarily remember things well, do you? But I remember it being quite a distance after. But I think it's just because it was so hard to get down, it just took me so long, and yeah, so I've obviously remembered it wrong. So I'm walking from Broadway to this disused railway line, or Bramble Path as we call it, and I'm gonna see if I can get as far as I got last time before I gave up. I'm not going to hurt myself though. I'm going to be careful in that sense. But the way I look at it, I've got, I don't know if I can show you. These are, they're motorcycle jeans. So they're sort of proper reinforced with some kind of thread or something that means that you can fall off your motorbike and not lose all your skin. So I'm probably in the best, I'm just checking the route. I'm probably in the best clothing there could be in to try and tackle that path again. So I'm going to give it a go. It's probably really, really stupid. I mean, what's the chance of me spotting them? I don't know. But yeah, I really need closure on this one. So I'm gonna keep trying. Well, I'm gonna try this path, and then I'll give up. I'm not even that bothered about the poles themselves. I don't know. I hate the fact I've lost them. It sort of annoys me that I've left something of mine just lying around in the countryside. Anyway, so yeah, next stop. I think it's just a few hundred yards, and then I'm actually on Bramble Path. So you can join me there. Right. Oh. I think I've been scuppered, but I'm not sure yet. I was walking down here thinking, I'm sure it got bad by now, and I've just bumped into a guy walking his dog and asked him if it had been cleared recently, and he said, yeah, it was cleared last week, at the end of last week. So it's been cleared since I walked down it. So they've come down and turned it back into a path, which is good, because it means that people can use it as a path again. But it does mean, I think, if my poles had been snagged on a branch or whatever, and I was hoping to just find them lying there, then they're not going to be there, are they? Because they've cleared the whole path, which I guess is all right. It means they've probably been taken away somewhere, which is better than littering. Yeah, I'm glad I bumped into that man though, because I was starting to think that I was maybe going crazy. And what was I complaining about? Because this path's fine. Anyway, yeah, so I'm going to keep going to where I gave up, but they've cleared it all the way up to there. And that was my favourite. As I abandoned the path, that was like the bit I really thought I got my rucksack proper snagged up there. And that was my favourite for finding the poles, really. Well, the most likely I thought was at my camp, but they're not there. So, oh, got excited then. I thought I could see a green packet, but I couldn't. Yeah, so guess you could call it bad luck, but the chance of finding them was very low anyway. Right, I'm going to walk to the bridge where I'd eventually abandon the path, and then call it a day. Put it down to something. Put it down to experience. So in future, I mean, the funny thing is, I always put my tent poles inside my bag, and for some reason I decided that I'd be clever and just put them in a side pocket. So it's my own fault. And on a positive note, because they've cleared it, I'm not covered in cuts and scratches and stuff like that. So, and I get to walk down the path again. So this is all very positive. And like I say, coming off the back yesterday of passing my HGV at Leicester, it's like even though I wasn't constantly worried about it, it was there. There's like a thing in the future that I was really worried about, and that's proper lifted. So I'm Mr. Happy. Mr. Happy now. Just Mr. Happy, just without any poles. That's all. Right, to the bridge, and then I'll call it a day. The overgrown bit's back, so they've not done it all the way up. I've actually stung myself on the finger, which is I always sting myself, but it never really bothers me. But it's smarting a bit on the finger. I don't quite get what that's about. Do you know what, this is stupid of me really. I'm not going to find these poles. I'm going to keep going. I've walked this far now. I'll keep going. I'm not going to find him though. Got something wrong with me, I think. Right, I've seen something in the distance. I've not got there yet. I think this is them. Here we go. They, bloody hell. They are my tent poles. How amazing is that? It got pretty built up again. Pretty treacherous. I say treacherous. Spiky and horrible. That bridge, I don't know if you see the bridge there. There's a bridge through there. I'm not going to go through there now. That's the one where I got to, tried to get a bit further on, then just came back and then managed to climb out onto the road. Oh wow. I really didn't expect to find them. I was just about to just give up. Let me flip this round. 10 bowls. Right, I can use my tent again. The tent is it's got a few patches on the floor, and I had written it off. But hey, I'm going to use it again now. Oh, how lucky am I? Oh, how lucky am I? I'm having the best week. Everything is going my way. I'm so lucky. Right, what I'm going to try and do now, actually, I'm going to try and cut, instead of going back on the path, because I was cursing myself when I did the walk, I'm going to see if there's a way. I might walk down that road and see if there's a way of joining the Cotswolds way. See that, because I was saying, oh, that might have been a better route. So I'm going to work my way back that way and, yeah, just see. Wow. Right. Okay, right, I'm just going to switch this off. I'm going to text Jenna, tell her I found them. Okay, I'm just making my way back to Broadway. I'm going to try and get onto the Cotswold Way. Although the Cotswold Way seems to change its name as it goes along. So the bit that I'm heading to is called Mile Drive, I think. And then that goes into Cotswold Way. And I did notice that on my walk, my original walk, before I got to Broadway, it had a different name for a little bit. Not quite sure how that works. If I'd stayed on the Cotswold Way originally when I was walking to Leicester from Bristol, it wouldn't have really worked for me, I don't think, because it sort of turns away from where I wanted to go. So I'm sure I could have then tagged on another trail and got back to Leicester, and I'm sure there might have been some prettier ways, but it would have taken longer, and I did need to be home. I wasn't allowed out for too long this time. So this has been useful exercise really, because I was sort of kicking myself last time because I was stuck in all those brambles, and I was looking up on these hills that I'm on now to the east and thinking, oh, I wish I was still up there and I could have worked something out. But for a start, I would have had to have knowledge that that path was impassable, and that wasn't written anywhere, and in fact they've cleared most of it, so maybe next week the rest of it will be cleared. Good job it wasn't though, I wouldn't have found my my poles, so that I got lucky again there. So yeah, I'm going to stop thinking about what if. At the end of the day, it was a great walk from Bristol to Leicester. Yeah, it had some bits that weren't so great, but as a whole it was a massive success. So I'm glad I'm going to get to see this little bit of the Cotswold Way, but yeah, I'm not regretting the route I took. It works basically, and we can't have known what would have happened if I'd gone a different way anyway. So yeah, I'm happy. I think I've got about, I don't know what I've walked today, probably about 7-8 miles. So I've got a couple of miles left to walk till Broadway. I'm gonna cool down for a bit. The walk from the bramble path east towards the Cotswold Way, which I'm heading to now, was roads for a bit, which was a bit rubbish, and then it was up this massive hill that just kept on going on forever. So I'm proper sweating now, feel a bit out of condition. Anyway, it's a nice bit now. So yeah, I'm going to enjoy the last 2 miles into Broadway, then I'm going to sit down for a rest, and then I'm going to ride all the way home. Should be home by 7, I reckon, 7 p.m. But yeah, it's been a lovely day out, and I can't believe, I know I keep mentioning it, I can't believe I found these. What a miracle.